This is me every time I play a scary game in VR. Ah! Hi, and welcome to From My Understanding with Christopher Michael Watson, where I learn a lot about things that I'm obsessed with, and then I just give you all about a 5-10 minute spiel about what I've learned and what really sat with me and things I took away from it. Last episode, we talked about Buddhism, and this episode, we are talking about VR, specifically VR gaming. Now, I don't know if you all know about me, but I am an actor out here in LA. And I've had the privilege, I say privilege because I'm a big gamer myself. I've had the privilege of working on some really cool video games, from Skydance Interactive's first video game, Archangel.
I want guns! Where are my guns?
To Resident Evil 2, where I portrayed Marvin Branagh.
I'm giving you an order, rookie.
As well as in Resident Evil 3, I reprised my role of Marvin. And most recently, I've been in a video game called The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, which is a VR game. And let me tell you, they're not paying me to say this. They paid me to be in it, but they're not paying me to say this. It has been a blast to play. I just got my code like a few days ago, and I have been immersed in this experience ever since. And so it's what I have been really obsessed with. And I figured I'd come on here and talk about VR, because even though I've done it, I don't really know too much about it. I have a PS VR. So I'm going to give you all a little spiel on what I've learned about VR. Let's go. All right, so let's get into what I learned about VR. Okay, so VR started with the Air Force, from my research and what I can understand. They wanted their pilots to be able to get experience flying these really expensive, really dangerous helicopters without actually endangering the lives of their pilots or wasting millions of dollars on these crashed planes. So I think you've all seen it, like the actual, like you're inside of a big machine, and you see, it looks like you're flying in the cockpit of a airplane. So that was kind of the first like VR experiences that kind of came along. And then most recently, there was a Kickstarter, or just one of those things where you try to raise money for things. And I guess this group of people really wanted to get VR going. VR was like the next thing they felt was really going to elevate us in our technology and even in our entertainment, and just how we do a lot of things. It's really it's beneficial in a multitude of ways. Even doctors can perform on people in VR without it actually being people, in the same way that the pilots, they didn't want them to die or crash the planes. Doctors can perform really intricate surgeries through these VR experiences. But either way, a Kickstarter happened, and then VR technology kind of just took off. Like once there was like a working model of VR, every tech company you could think of picked it up, whether it was Sony, HTC, Oculus. Microsoft has one in the work. Any big tech company sees that VR is the next step in gaming, the next step in entertainment, the next step in a lot of things. So a lot of companies are really investing a lot of money into VR. So some of the technical aspects of VR, one of the biggest problems that people who were creating VR experiences or working on VR technology was that, in the same way that headphones black out the sound that you're hearing so that you're able to have an experience with music or whatnot, VR, the whole thing with VR is that they're trying to black out your visual cues that the world is giving you to be able to transport you to another place. Now, technology, computers, your TV, they have these things called latency delays. Now, these are just micro 50, I want to say like millisecond, just delays that technology has, and from getting the information from here through the cord to your TV, and then your TV has to process it to give it to you as an image. So latency delay is a big thing when it comes to VR that they're trying to cut down on as much, because what gives you the motion sickness is when you're moving in the headset or whatnot, is that the delay, your inner ear and your balance gets confused, because it's like, whoa, I see myself running through some field or something, but I'm obviously just sitting down in this chair. So that type of discrepancy between reality and what they're trying to get you to experience, makes you can make you very disoriented and discombobulated. So latency delay is something that VR technical people are really trying to cut down on. I already kind of named some of the big players. Sony PlayStation has the PSVR. There's the Oculus Rift. HTC has one. And as I've been saying, I've been playing The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners on my PSVR, and it's just amazing how intuitive they've made some of these things. Like I can grab the gun from my holster. I have like a bat on the side of me, and the things that you hear, like they've just really made it such an immersive experience for you. And I have just found that completely cool. Now I will say, I think I do get a headache from it if I'm playing it too much. I went and played a demo of this game before it actually came out at the headquarters at Skynest Interactive. I was able to go and play a little bit of it, and I played it like for some hours, and I didn't really have an issue with it. But now that I've had it at home, I've had one maybe minor headache. But other than that, I think they've really mastered having a genuine experience, making you feel like you've been transported somewhere else. And yeah, I've been really obsessed with it. It's been really cool. And there's some other really cool things. If you get the PSVR, there's some free games that come with it that you can just play on. So yeah, I'll cut it there with VR. I feel like if I talk any more about it, I'm gonna start just saying some really wrong, really incorrect things. But that's what I learned about VR so far. There's obviously so much more to learn. If it's something that you're interested in, I really suggest you look into it, whether you're trying to further the technology or just really have a fun experience playing video games, or I think eventually they're going to have it where you get to talk to people or whatnot. But yeah, check out The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. I'm in it. And yeah, thank you for joining From My Understanding, first recorded episode. I hope to see you back here when I pick my next. I don't ever have an idea what I'm gonna do next. It happens as it happens. And yeah, thanks for your support. See you later.